Snow was falling on St. Petersburg like tiny pieces of quiet, drifting light. It was the kind of winter that carved silence into the air, still, heavy, almost sacred. Inside the old Kazan Cathedral, the choir was rehearsing for the annual Christmas concert, their voices rising into the domes like incense carried by sound. But one voice was missing, and everyone knew it. For the first time in 15 years, Anna Petrovna, the cathedral's lead soprano, was absent. People said her voice was the pride of the cathedral. Others said she was a miracle, a woman with lungs touched by heaven. But her son Kirill knew what had really made her voice beautiful. She sang from places in her heart that she never showed in words. She sang loneliness. She sang grief. She sang hope, as if she was trying to summon it back into her life. That December, hope felt further away than ever. Anna had suffered a mild stroke 2 weeks earlier. Her voice, once bright and crystalline, had become soft and unsure. For the first time, she felt afraid to sing. She was discharged from the hospital with no physical damage, but her confidence, her deepest treasure, had cracked. And now she stayed home, silent, staring at old photos on the living room piano. Photos of her late husband. Photos of the years before life became heavy. Photos of concerts where she stood radiant under gold chandeliers, her voice filling the cathedral like warm fire. Kirill, her 28-year-old son, watched all this quietly. He worked as a sound engineer and had been assigned to prepare the cathedral's audio for the Christmas concert. But he had one more mission, one he hadn't told anyone about. He wanted his mother to sing again, not just for the cathedral, but for herself. He did not know how to help her. He prayed quietly in the cathedral every night, long after everyone had gone home. He asked for a sign, a spark, something, anything. On a night when St. Petersburg was colder than usual, and the sky seemed stitched shut with clouds, someone walked into the cathedral, a girl bundled in a thick coat, carrying an old guitar wrapped in cloth. She looked lost. Kirill approached her, wondering if she was a tourist or someone needing help. Her cheeks were red from the cold, her eyes misty from the wind. "You're still open?" she asked in accented English. "I'm sorry. I didn't know if it is allowed to come in at this hour." "It's open for prayer," Kirill said, "but the choir has already gone home." "Ah, okay," she whispered. She pressed her gloved hand against her chest, clearly nervous. She wasn't Russian. Her features were softer, warmer, her eyes deep and expressive. Her nose, her lips, her skin tone. She was Filipina. "Are you okay?" he asked gently. She nodded, though she looked like she might cry. "I wanted to pray, and maybe sing a little, just for myself." She laughed nervously. "But maybe it's not allowed here." Kirill looked at the guitar wrapped in cloth. "You play?" he asked. "Yes, a little." The way she looked down, shy but hopeful, made him feel something shift inside him, like a door opening to a room he didn't know he had. "You can sing," he said. "It's allowed if it's a prayer." She smiled, relieved. He led her to a small bench near the front, where the candles flickered low. She sat carefully, almost reverently. Kirill stepped back, giving her space. When she unwrapped her guitar, he noticed it was old, scratched, worn, with marks that suggested it had traveled far. She touched its body like one touches a friend. Then she began to strum, softly, gently. The sound was warm, completely different from the cold winter outside. And then she began to sing. "Pasko na naman." The words were unfamiliar to Kirill, but the melody, oh, the melody, felt like a lantern glowing gently in the dark. Her voice was tender and pure, not like the cathedral soprano voices he'd grown up hearing. It was simple, honest, like someone singing to comfort a child. "Ano bang araw ngayon?" Her voice trembled lightly, like warm tears that never fell. Kirill froze. He had never heard anything like it. There was longing in it. Childhood, family, faith, memories wrapped in melody. She wasn't singing like a performer. She was singing like someone trying to bring home back into her chest. She closed her eyes as she continued. "Ngunit nadarama pa rin ang pag-ibig ng Diyos." He didn't know the words, but he understood the emotion. It was love. Pure love. Sacred, uncomplicated love. When she finished, the cathedral was so quiet that the air seemed suspended. Kirill cleared his throat softly. That was beautiful. She looked startled. Really? Yes, he said with a sincerity that surprised him. I didn't understand the language, but I felt it. It's a Filipino Christmas song, she said softly. I grew up singing it with my mother. Every year. Even when we had no gifts, no food sometimes. We still had songs. Filipinos. We sing even when life is heavy. She looked down, tears welling. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cry. There's nothing to apologize for, he said gently. She wiped her eyes. I came here because I miss home. I've been working in Moscow, and now here in St. Petersburg. I'm a caregiver for an elderly couple. They're kind, but it's lonely sometimes. Christmas is hard. Kirill nodded. For a moment, they shared the same silence, a silence of two souls carrying more than they said. What's your name? He asked. Lyra, she whispered, smiling shyly. Like the constellation. I'm Kirill, she nodded. Hi, Kirill. He felt his heart thump in a way it hadn't in years. She looked down at her guitar again. That song, it's called Pasko na naman. It means it's Christmas again. It's a simple song, but Filipinos feel Christmas deeply, and we always believe that even after hardship, love returns. Can you sing it again? He asked. If you don't mind. She blushed lightly. Okay, but why? He could have told her the truth, that her voice felt like healing, that he wanted to bring something like that home to his mother, that for the first time he had felt hope in music again. Instead, he said simply, because I want to remember how it feels. She looked touched. She strummed again, and her voice floated through the cathedral like warm light slipping through cold glass. The notes curled into the corners of the hall, touching icons, candles, stone pillars, and shadows. Kirill closed his eyes just to feel it. When the last note faded, he whispered, You know, your voice could bring people to tears. Lyra laughed. I'm not that good. You are, he said softly. Silence stretched between them, gentle, shy, full of possibilities. Then the cathedral doors swung open. Cold air rushed in, and a familiar figure entered, his mother. Anna Petrovna, wrapped in her thick gray coat, scarf tied neatly around her neck, walked slowly toward the center aisle. She froze when she saw the Filipino woman with a guitar and her son beside her. Kirill stood quickly. Mama, what are you doing here? You should be resting. Anna's eyes were sharp, observant, always studying, always understanding even the things unspoken. I couldn't sleep, she said quietly. I wanted to pray. And then I heard music. She looked at Lyra. Lyra stood abruptly, bowing politely. I'm sorry. Was it too loud? I can stop. No, Anna said, raising a hand. Please, don't apologize. Her voice softened in a way Kirill hadn't heard since before the stroke. You're singing. It entered this place in a way I haven't felt in many years. Lyra blinked, unsure if she was being praised or politely brushed aside. Anna approached her slowly, studying her face. You are from the Philippines? Yes, yes, Lyra stammered. I've never heard a song from your country, Anna said, but somehow it felt like a prayer. Lyra swallowed. It is a prayer, ma'am, a Christmas prayer from our people. Anna nodded thoughtfully. Would you sing it again? She asked. Lyra nodded nervously. Okay, yes. She sat again, strummed, sang. This time Kirill didn't watch Lyra. He watched his mother. Something changed in Anna's eyes, a softening, a remembering, a grieving, a healing. A tear slid down her cheek. Kirill had not seen her cry in years. When Lyra finished, Anna whispered, That song, it feels like a mother calling her children home. Lyra pressed her lips together, touched. In the quiet, The cathedral seemed to breathe with them. Anna sat beside her. "Can you teach me this song?" Lyra's eyes widened. "You want to learn Tagalog?" "I want to learn your Christmas song," Anna corrected. Kirill felt his chest ache with relief. His mother, the woman who feared her own voice, was asking to sing again. Lyra nodded slowly. "I can teach you, ma'am." "Call me Anna," she said gently. Lyra smiled shyly. "Okay, Anna." The three of them sat together, the snow outside falling harder, the cathedral glowing softly with candlelight. And for the first time since her stroke, Anna hummed. Only a hum. Light, fragile, barely there. But it was enough. It was a beginning. Lyra taught her slowly, repeating lines, translating meanings, explaining emotions. Tagalog words echoed through the cathedral for the first time in history. "Pasko na naman," Anna followed. Her voice cracked slightly, but she continued. "Pasko na naman." Tears rolled down her cheeks, but she didn't stop. Kirill closed his eyes, overwhelmed. A Filipina caregiver, a Russian soprano who lost her voice, a son praying for a miracle, and a simple Filipino Christmas song that stitched their stories together. They practiced until the candles burned low. Then Anna whispered, "Will you sing with us during the Christmas concert?" Lyra's breath caught. "Me? In a cathedral? With a choir?" "Yes," Anna said firmly. "Your voice carries something ours does not." Lyra looked overwhelmed. "I'm afraid, Anna." Anna touched her hand. "So am I." Kirill watched as two women, one from the snow, one from the tropics, held each other's courage. This was the moment he had prayed for. But none of them knew what would happen next. None of them knew that this simple song, born in the warm December nights of the Philippines, would soon echo through the grand Russian cathedral, moving hundreds of people to tears. Part 2 would reveal everything that happened on that night. But for now, the snow outside fell softly. The candles flickered quietly. And inside this moment, this fragile, sacred moment, two cultures met, not through politics or history, but through music. And the miracle had only begun. Snow continued to fall over St. Petersburg, like the city was being wrapped gently for Christmas. The Kazan Cathedral stood tall against the gray sky, its massive columns carved by age and devotion. Inside, the choir prepared for the annual Christmas concert, a tradition so old that even the walls seemed to breathe the memories of countless Decembers. But this year would be different in ways no one anticipated. For 2 weeks, Lyra came every evening after her long caregiving shifts. Sometimes she smelled faintly of menthol ointment and old books from helping her elderly patients. Sometimes she arrived shivering, her fingers stiff from the Russian cold. Yet she came faithfully, always carrying her weathered guitar, always wearing that soft, hopeful smile. And every night, Anna waited for her. They sat together, one wrapped in thick scarves, the other glowing with tropical warmth, and practiced the Filipino Christmas song slowly, gently, patiently. Tagalog words flowed into the cathedral like unfamiliar but beautiful birds. "Pasko na naman." "Ano bang araw ngayon?" Lyra taught each line with care. Anna repeated each word with devotion. At first, the choir thought it was strange. A Russian soprano learning Tagalog, a foreign caregiver teaching her inside the cathedral. But slowly the singers began to listen from the pews after their rehearsals ended. Something in the melody, soft, nostalgic, tender, touched them in ways they couldn't explain. And for the first time in years, the cathedral became a place of discovery again. Kirill watched the transformation quietly. His mother's voice still trembled sometimes, but the fear inside her had begun to melt, replaced by something gentler, something close to courage. One night, as they finished practicing, Lyra whispered, "I still can't believe you want me to sing with the choir." Anna looked at her with a firmness only mothers seem to possess. "Your voice carries home in it. That is something no training can teach." Lyra swallowed hard. "Mahirap po kasi, it's hard to believe I'm good enough." Anna took her hand. I once thought the same, but we do not sing because we are good. We sing because we have something to give. Lyra nodded, wiping her eyes. Okay, I will sing with you. When the night of the concert finally arrived, the city glowed with soft amber lights. The snow was thick, powdery, covering rooftops and coats and eyelashes. Families walked toward the cathedral wrapped in scarves, holding candles, whispering prayers. Inside, the choir gathered backstage, nervous and excited. The air smelled of incense, pine, and winter. Lyra stood near the back, holding her guitar, trembling. She had never performed in a grand building, never in front of hundreds of people, never on Russian soil. She looked at her hands. They were shaking. Kirill approached her. You okay? No, she whispered honestly. You don't have to be perfect, he said softly. Just be true. She looked up at him. Do you think they'll understand the song? She asked. Maybe not the words, he replied, but they'll understand the heart. She swallowed hard, nodding. Nearby, Anna stood tall in her choir robe, her hair neatly pinned, her eyes closed as if whispering a prayer. She opened them when she felt someone approach. Are you ready, Mama? Kirill asked. No, she said truthfully, but I am willing. He felt his throat tighten. For years he watched her fade, into grief, into fear, into silence. But tonight she looked different. She looked alive again. The cathedral bells rang. The concert began. One by one, the choir performed their pieces, ancient hymns, Russian Christmas chants, classical compositions that filled the hall with reverence. Families wiped tears, children leaned on their mothers' shoulders, elderly couples held hands. Between pieces, Lyra waited quietly, heart pounding. Every time the curtains opened slightly, she saw the crowd, rows of faces bundled in scarves, waiting for the next song. She saw the high ceilings, the grand arches, the chandeliers reflecting candlelight. It felt overwhelming. When the conductor motioned for the next performers, Lyra froze. It's time, Anna whispered gently. Lyra nodded, breath quick and shallow. Together they stepped forward, one Russian, one Filipina, toward the choir stands illuminated by hundreds of candles. The audience murmured quietly, curious. Who was the girl with the guitar? Why was she standing beside the famous Anna Petrovna? The conductor raised his hand. Silence swallowed the room. Then Lyra strummed the first chord. Warm, soft, unexpected. The crowd leaned in. Lyra began to sing alone, her voice trembling, small but pure. Pasko na naman. Somewhere in the audience, someone gasped softly. The tone, the unfamiliar words. It was like hearing a lullaby from a distant island carried across snow and centuries. Lyra continued, Ano bang araw ngayon? Her voice cracked slightly, not from fear, but from emotion. She remembered her childhood Christmas in the Philippines, plastic Christmas trees, bright paroles hanging from windows, her mother cooking spaghetti with hot dogs, neighbors singing karaoke until midnight. She remembered singing this song while sitting on the floor beside her siblings, legs crossed, smiles wide. She remembered her mother's voice, and she missed her. So much it hurt. A single tear fell onto the guitar. The sound echoed through the cathedral like a soft ribbon of light. Then Anna began to sing with her. Her voice, once cracked, once afraid, rose gently beside Lyra's, not overpowering it, not leading it, just blending, like snow meeting warm rain. The audience stirred. Some eyes widened. Some hands flew to mouths. Anna was not singing in Russian. She was singing in Tagalog. And the words, though foreign, felt familiar in their emotion. Her Russian soprano tone melded with the Filipino melody in a way that felt impossible to describe. Two worlds meeting in one breath. As they reached the chorus, the choir joined, but not with Russian lyrics. They sang the Tagalog. Their accents were imperfect, their tones were uneven, but their hearts were full, and the audience felt it. People began to cry silently. A man in the third row took off his glasses, wiping them. A grandmother clutched her scarf to her chest, trembling. Children looked up at their parents, confused by why everyone was crying. It wasn't just the melody, it was the way Lyra's voice carried home with it. It was the way Anna sang with bravery stitched into every note. It was the way the choir, these Russians who grew up with icy Decembers, sang a warm island Christmas song with absolute sincerity. Lyra closed her eyes as she reached the last verse, her voice steadier now, filled with something bigger than courage. When she finished the final line, she inhaled shakily, preparing for the ending note. But before she sang it, she heard something unexpected. The audience began to hum with her. Soft. Gentle. Following her melody even though they didn't know the words. Hundreds of voices blending into one soft hum, like a cathedral full of angels. She opened her eyes, stunned. Anna saw it too. So did the choir. The entire cathedral was singing with them. Lyra swallowed her tears and sang the final line, her voice trembling like a candle flame. Ngunit nadarama pa rin ang pag-ibig ng Diyos. When the chord ended, the cathedral stayed silent. No applause, no movement. Only silence, holy, full, overwhelming. Then, one by one, people began to weep aloud. Some covered their faces, some cried openly, some held each other. It was not sadness, it was release. A kind of healing that happens only when hearts forget they are strangers. And then, finally, the applause rose like thunder. People stood, they cheered, they clapped with hands shaking. Some cried while smiling, some reached for tissues, some bowed their heads in prayer. The choir looked stunned. Anna covered her mouth, tears streaming silently. Lyra sobbed openly, overwhelmed by the crowd, by the moment, by the impossible reality that her song, her childhood song, had touched so many strangers so far from home. Kirill rushed to the side of the choir, eyes red, heart racing. He wanted to run to them, hold them both, but he stayed still, watching, trembling, proud. When the applause finally softened, the priest approached the stage. He spoke in Russian, voice echoing through the cathedral. He said that music has no borders. He said love needs no translation. He said that tonight, they had felt Christmas in a way they had not felt in years. Then he turned to Lyra. "My child," he said, his voice breaking. "You have brought us warmth from your homeland, and we thank you." Lyra bowed, tears falling rapidly. After the concert ended, people flooded them with gratitude. Some hugged Lyra. Some asked her about the Philippines. Some told her the song reminded them of loved ones who passed. Some asked Anna how she learned Tagalog so beautifully. The choir members surrounded both women, emotional, grateful, inspired. Anna stood beside Lyra, her hand never letting go of the Filipina girl's hand, her eyes brighter than they had been in years. Kirill finally reached them. His mother hugged him tightly. "Moy sin, my son," she whispered. "You brought her here. You brought the miracle I needed." He held her back, unable to speak. Then Lyra turned to him, still trembling, still wiping tears. Did I do okay?" she asked softly. Kirill cupped her shoulders gently. "You changed lives tonight," he whispered, "including mine." Lyra's lips parted in surprise. She looked away shyly, face warm. The weeks that followed changed everything. Lyra became known in the community, not as a performer, not as a foreign worker, but as the girl who brought warmth to Russian winter. The choir invited her to sing again. Russian families invited her for dinner, fascinated by her country, asking about Filipino food, culture, and traditions. Anna slowly regained her confidence. She sang with more joy than she had in years, and she practiced Tagalog daily, insisting that the song belonged in her soul now. One snowy afternoon, as they sat in the cathedral warming their hands, Anna looked at Lyra and said, "You have given me back my voice." Lyra shook her head. "I only gave you a song." "A song," Anna said softly, "that carried love, and love heals." Kirill walked in, carrying hot tea, smiling as he joined them. The three of them, One Russian mother rediscovering life, one Filipina far from home, one son with a heart newly awakened, sat together in the cathedral that had witnessed their healing. Christmas lights twinkled softly. The snow outside fell silently. And deep inside the ribs of the cathedral, the echoes of a Filipino Christmas song remained, woven into the stone and memory of everyone who heard it. Years later, people would still talk about that night. The night when a simple island melody melted the coldest winter. The night when strangers cried together. The night when Tagalog words echoed in a Russian cathedral. The night when two cultures met and recognized each other's humanity. The night when Christmas came alive again. And it all began with a Filipina caregiver, an old guitar, a Russian soprano rediscovering courage, and a simple song that carried home in every note.